Hey guys, what's up? It's Tees here, coming at you with another Tips with Tees in College Football 25. This video is going to go over what I do and what I look for when putting together a depth chart in my dynasties, the road to the College Football Playoff, and any other game mode in College Football 25. But before we jump into it, if you can please leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe, and be on the lookout for more Tips with Tees in College Football 25. So to get things started, I'm going with Oklahoma, totally random. No affiliation to them at all, but just a team that I saw and just wanted to check out their depth chart and see if I needed to change anything on my end. When it comes to the quarterback, there are a few things that I look into. Mainly, it's throwing power, which is one. And let's see what Jackson Arnold's throwing power is. As of right now, it's 93. It looks like it's the strongest amongst everybody here that is listed, which is awesome. And his short accuracy is an 89, 85 medium, 85. He's got great deep ball accuracy for a sophomore. He also throws on the run pretty well, not the best, but again, 86 is very, very respectable, and he's got a lot of physical abilities. Sleight of hand, off platform, extender, pull down, mobile, deadeye, which means obviously he can run and throw with great accuracy. These are just a few things that I look at. Those are probably going to be, and I would probably keep him here as the starter. I mean, he can run okay, 82 speed. I don't really scramble too much with my quarterbacks because I really just look to get the ball out, but I know that does help in some situations if you're just planning on running, but I don't usually do that because of wear and tear, and the last thing you want to do is run too much with your quarterback and he takes too many hits, and now his throw power went from a 93 to an 83 or even lower. So I would keep the quarterback here, and again, that's what I look for. Another thing that I do look for is if a quarterback does have gold or better field general, which is a mental ability, I usually like to roll with them because they are able to spot blitzers pre-snap and also can tell you what the coverage is, which is extremely helpful, even more so on the road when you need as much help as you can with all these hostile environments. But here, I would keep Jackson Arnold as my QB1. Let's take a look at the running backs here. So they got some solid running backs, 84 overall and 83 overall Sawchuk. And the fact that he is a 97 speed, with me personally, I would go Sawchuk all day because I don't want to have to keep changing and putting in my backup running back every single time that I want to run the ball. If anything, I'm okay with handing the ball off to Barnes because he is 84 and he is honestly a really, really good running back as well. He's barely better than Sawchuk in this game, but he's the one that's going to be trucking and breaking tackles. You see here, the breaking tackle rating 79, 82 trucking, change of directions the same, better ball carrier vision, and better like stiff arm and same spin move. Not the best juke because he looks like a downhole runner, but he does have bronze shifty and bronze takeoff. So regardless, both of these running backs are studs, and I would start with Sawchuk personally because of that speed, and I don't have to constantly make sure that he's in the game and accidentally select a play and find out the hard way that, oh no, he's not in the lineup right now, and this play was geared towards a fast and speedy running back. However, Barnes being 92 is not bad at all. This is a very good rating, honestly. I would have no issues with both, but because I do like speed, I'm going to go with Sawchuk every single time as my running back because it's not like a one speed difference or not, it's 5. So there is going to be a definite gap there, and you're going to notice it. If it was 1 or maybe 2, it wouldn't matter too much, and I might have him as my secondary because of that, you want to have the better running back, but they're so close as well. You cannot go wrong with either of these. And then again, worst case scenario, you have to throw in your freshman, but he's a 94 speed and 80 overall as a freshman already. So that is pretty impressive, especially with the physical ability of Silver Takeoff. So this is how I'd keep my running back here with the faster running back. Again, 5 speed faster than the backup running back. So that is a big, big deal and big, big difference. Fullback, I really don't need a fullback. I pretty much run strictly out of the shotgun, so I really never even have to worry about a fullback. So receiver-wise, there are a few things. Obviously, with this lineup now, wow, I'm just looking at this. If I do end up going back and playing road to the college football playoff, I will probably be rocking Oklahoma because these receivers are going to be impossible to stop. Oh my goodness. So you have Deion Burks here, who I would keep for number 1 because he's a 90 overall. You want your best receiver to be in that one spot every single time. The second and third options, it doesn't really matter, honestly. And what I'll probably end up doing for the third receiver, Petaway, is what I do. I go all the way down for that third receiver. He is going to be my slot guy. So he's pretty much not going to be in the play at all unless he is a slot receiver. And I make sure that I put Petaway as my slot receiver. As you see, Burks, for whatever reason, is the number 1 slot guy. I do not want him playing the slot. He's fast, yes, at 93, but he is not 98 speed, and he should be that receiver 1 every single time. So I changed Petaway, Jacquezie Petaway, and I put him as my slot receiver. So that's what I would do there. Keep them here, 98 speed there, which is awesome. You have multiple opportunities to go deep if you need to. I know this game is very, very difficult with your pocket time to throw, so sometimes you don't even have that amount of time. But one thing I do want to keep an eye on as well is going to be the release. So this is how well someone's rating is to beat the press. When you're playing a user and they're pressing you, if they have a higher rating, they have a better chance of beating the press and then basically giving you an over-the-top easy touchdown every single time. That's if they beat the press. So you see Burks, he's got a good one here. And Petaway 76 is not bad, especially with 98 speed. That is intriguing. Thompson 73, not bad, but I would probably keep the 1, 2, and 3s right here. The only difference I would make, but it probably won't even make a difference, honestly. And one thing I would do right here is Andrell Anthony. I don't know if he's injured or whatever, but they put him off the depth chart, and I would move him all the way up to my number 4 receiver, because that 94 speed is going to be amazing, and you're probably not going to have 5 wide too often, to be honest, but even if you do, you have a 91 speed receiver. And again, speed kills in this. Speed always wins, just like in golf video games. Power always dominates. It doesn't really matter how accurate you are, but speed always kills and speed wins in this game. So this is how I would run it. 90 overall, 81, 81, 82 here, but because of the speed, in my opinion, they're much more valuable, especially being sophomores and juniors. They're not even freshmen, which would make it a little bit easier to kind of flip it, because when you're playing on the road, sometimes they can drop a lot of passes because of the intensity and just the hostile environment and being a little more nervous. But that's how I would set up my receiving room. When I'm looking at tight ends, I love fast tight ends. In all my dynasties, what I like doing is taking a physical receiver that I have recruited and moved him over to the tight end spot. And by doing this, you're going to create a mismatch 9 times out of 10 against middle linebackers or linebackers in general. And with that, you're going to have a mismatch on the field every single time. Even if you didn't have fast receivers, that is something that I like having. You're going to have at least one mismatch on the field. In my current online dynasty, I did that. I got a 93 speed tight end, and I wanted at least one mismatch on the field because all my other receivers are really slow, 89, 90 speed, nothing too overpowering compared to the rest of the teams that I'm going to be going up against. So with that being said, I like speedy tight ends, and I know here they're not really that quick. So it's not the end of the world if they're not, because again, with Oklahoma, they have very fast wide receivers and a fast running back. So you already have mismatches on the field already. But if you are not the best team, you want to find a mismatch at least somewhere offensively on the ball. So with that being said, I would probably just keep this as it is. Very simple, 82, 81. There's not much. He's even slower. Roberts is slower than Sharp. And I throw to my tight end when I need to, not all the time, but they are very helpful and handy. So just keep that in mind. 82 also means he's probably pretty good at blocking as well. And they got high awareness here, so that's really, really, really important too. Looking at my offensive line, a 79 overall left tackle, very weak. 79 left guard, 87 center, 82 right guard, and a right tackle of 81. 2 of them, actually. That's interesting. So what I probably would do here is I'd probably take Jake Taylor, who is the sophomore, and probably try to move him around to probably the left guard or left tackle, whichever one he might be better on. So let's see here. Taylor, if he's the left guard, he'd be a 79, so there's no reason to change that up there because he's out of position. And then Taylor, he'd be an 80 here, so I'll actually move him up to here. I'll have the backup as Tarquin, just to make sure that we got that set up. But even though he is out of position, he is playing an offensive tackle spot, and this isn't real life. So because of that, also, you need to take into account that it's not going to have too much of an effect. They already downgraded him 1 overall because he is not playing right tackle, which is his current position, but it's not going to make or break it. And he is a little bit better, so that's why I would go this route on the offensive line. Looking at the defensive line, you got the left end at an 85, 84, 84. Wow, they have a bunch of left ends that are solid. And you got right end, which is an 85 and 80. So what I would do here is I'm going to take this Adebayor and I'm going to move him to the right end, but the backup right end, because he's probably going to be a lot better than that 80 overall, which he definitely is. You can see right there, that gives you more depth, and it gives you a better chance that when wear and tear comes into place, especially sometimes, if you're getting like smash mouth football constantly, you're on the field too long, they're running the ball down your throat, your defensive line is going to get tired, and you're going to have to sub them out if you want to have a chance at stopping the run. So just keep that in mind. I swapped him out just again to look at that depth, 85, 84, 85, 84. That's awesome for the edges, honestly. As we look at the defensive tackle, it's a little weak here, but honestly, what I might do, depending on that depth that I just mentioned right here, you got these 84, 84s. Like, you could easily put Adebayor right here, and let's see what would happen. He'd be an 81 overall, and he's 253 pounds. He might be undersized, so maybe not, because you want to plug him up. You see the 300 pounds, 312, 312, 330, 285, 295. So I probably just keep him here for the time being, because I know some of the defensive substitutions that you can make, or the rotations that you can make, do put the defensive ends in the middle of the defensive line. So I would just keep this as is. I don't really touch this too much. Over here on the left, linebacker. When it comes to linebackers, I like speed. I don't worry about tackling because I rarely hit stick. So what I try to do is just make the tackle or strip the ball. That's it. That's all I care about. And I want to make sure that they can cover, because I play the nickel a lot. By playing the nickel, you're going to have two linebackers in at all times, so they have to be able to cover some space. And because of that, you get an 86 speed here. I wouldn't change this for the world. McCullough, he definitely is going to be playing there. Again, I apologize if I am mispronouncing these names. First time for me really seeing this. I'm not an Oklahoma fan, so I don't really know who these players are. But I would go with McCullough here because he's an 86 speed middle linebacker. He is on the slow side, but he is 90 overall. So, and look at all of the physical and mental abilities. Gold blow up, Hall of Fame or Platinum Hammer, Bronze Inside Disruptor, Hall of Fame or Platinum Wrap-Up. Again, I say Hall of Fame because I come from playing 2K games with NBA 2K and PGA Tour 2K. But yeah, so it's probably Platinum. I see a lot of people say that on the Reddit, if you want to say that. The natural mental ability is Platinum, clear-headed Platinum, fan favorite Platinum. A ton of abilities. You do not want him off the field. Even though that this guy is a 93 speed, you can, if anything, I will probably just swap him here, just in case he needs to sit out for a play or two, because at least you're going to have some speed to back that up. But 90 overall, Stutzman, he is a killer linebacker. Whoa. And then here on the right linebacker side, 83 overall. You're not going to want to change this because they have the same speed, and he's +5 overall better, even though they both are sophomores. But, I mean, that's it. I mean, if you have faster linebackers, then maybe you can swap them out. But honestly, that's pretty respectable for the linebacker position. And now, as we're looking here, this is a little different, as they only have 5 cornerbacks. Wow, that is very, very interesting. I did not know that, even though, for whatever reason, Dolby, he must be injured, because I feel like when they put the people that are injured on, not on the roster anymore. But what I would do, I would definitely swap Dolby with Malone, because that 88 speed is going to be tough. And overall, I mean, if you have a 90 speed cornerback, you're good. And he's an 85 overall. I might just swap them here, just to have a little bit of discrepancy there. You have a 1 speed higher up there, but overall, that's pretty solid. I play a lot of zone, very, very little man-to-man unless I'm blitzing. And even if that's the case with me blitzing, they don't have much time to throw, so I don't worry about the speed unless they just get lucky with a release and just dump it over the top. So that's pretty respectable in my opinion. There's honestly maybe the only change that I might make is this right here. I just noticed Jacoby Johnson. I'm gonna swap with Vickers because he's a 79, but just two different, but he's faster. So I'd put him here to give me a little bit better speed in the cornerback side. But let's check out the free safety here. We got an 89 overall, Spears Jennings, and free safeties, an 89 overall is 88 speed. That's honestly pretty solid. As long as it's not like 86 or below, you're gonna be okay. You don't have to worry about getting beat deep. But since it's a 6 gap overall right here between Bone and Spears Jennings, I'm gonna keep, Spears Jennings here, and he's only +2 in the speed category higher, so there's not even a real reason to do that. As I look at the strong safety here, and this is huge, not just a 90 overall for Bowman Jr., but the 94 speed. In my online dynasty, I played a team. It was LSU versus Florida State. I was Florida State, and I was getting beat deep all game. I just could not stop him. I would have my strong safety literally sprinting back, and I couldn't keep up with the receivers from LSU. I came to find out that my strong safety was an 86 speed, and he was trying to run up against 95 to 97 speed receivers. There was absolutely no chance that that was going to happen. So what did I do? I swapped out my 91 overall strong safety that had an 86 speed with a 77 overall 93 speed freshman to cover that backside. Next time I played them in the college football playoff, 45-6, they had no chance. They just tried to go deep ball game, and that's all I did. I just stopped them. I made sure that I was not going to get beat deep. Once I covered the back end, they were just kind of in panic mode and didn't really know what to do. So with 94 speed, you got the back ends covered 100%. You do not have to worry about that, so that is huge. I would keep them there. When it comes to kicking, I prioritize kicking power over accuracy. Is kicking hard in this game? To an extent, yes. But if you practice a little bit, it's really not as difficult as people make it seem. It's a little bit more difficult when you play online and you're playing somebody from California versus somebody in New York, and you have that lag, and that's more difficult, yes. But if you're playing someone within California or within the state that you're in, you shouldn't have too much lag, and it's not that difficult to kick. Obviously, the better kickers that you have, the better accuracy. It does make it a little bit easier from time to time, but it's really not that hard if you just figure out the timing mechanism. To be honest, I've made a lot of field goals. I've also missed a few, and that's a user error on my part. I don't blame the kicking, I blame myself. A quick little practice, and that's all that it takes. I always recommend as well is going into practice mode with the team that you're going to play with and practice with their kicker a little bit. Not much. You literally only need like 3 to 4 minutes of just moving the ball around in different areas, left, right, up close to the left, up close to the right, deep down the center. See how far you can kick the ball. As you see here, the overalls are 75 and 72, and for whatever reason, they didn't put the power and the accuracy right next to each other, so now we got to scroll all over here. We've got a 90 kick power and 83 kick accuracy, but the punter has better kick accuracy and better power. So what I would do here is I'd swap them out. Because look at that. The punter is a better kicker. And isn't that kind of crazy? You would think that with all of the breakdowns of all of the attributes that they would have a breakdown of the kicking stats, field goal kicking power, punting power, because that is so different. Punting accuracy, punting field goal accuracy, but they don't. They only have kick power and kick accuracy, and that's it for both punting and kickers. And because of that, go with the better one every single time. Take a look at the punter. We only got one. He's 81 overall. He's got the best accuracy and the best power. Go with him. Nothing to change here. Kick returners, these are a little issue. I have no idea why he's a 0 rated. That is weird. I've never seen that. But what I like to do and use for my kick returners are people who aren't going to see the ball a ton. Because people who are going to see the ball a decent amount are already going to have wear and tear on them. They're going to have that issue where when they get hit, they are going to get worn down, right? So you don't want to use people that are constantly getting hit because that just adds to it, and you're going to get hit hard on kick returns and punt returns. So yes, you want to kind of find that median of like someone that doesn't get hit too much but has speed and can make the job easy for you. So what I would do here is this running back right here. He's the freshman that I talked about earlier. I think it's like an 80, 81 overall already as a true freshman, which is insane. I would use him as my returner. 93 and above speed is kind of what you're looking for if you have it. If not, it's not the end of the world, but that is what I would look for there. And then for the second option here, I probably go with Petaway because he is going to be, actually no. What I would do for the second guy is go in Andrel Anthony because I think he's the 4th spot in our receiving corps. So that is who I go with the kick returner and punt returner, and I put Tatum as the punt returner here. Again, you only need one of these guys. You're not going to need 2 punt returners, just one. And look at that. He's already a 94 overall. Also, I don't even really look at the kick return stat, honestly. Let's see what his stat is. It must be pretty dang high. Kick return stat is a 95. I don't really know what that means, to be honest. I know that it might give him better vision, but I'm not 100% even sure what that means. Obviously, besides the fact that he's highly rated in it. But to me, as long as you have someone over 93, 94 speed, you're going to give yourself a chance to run back a few kicks if you can hit the hole correctly. And then kickoff starter, you always want to select the kicker that has the most power. Accuracy is not a big deal for this at all. So for this, again, the obvious answer is Elzinga, who has the highest power and the best accuracy. And then long snapper, don't even worry about this, even though 37 is not bad. So I'll probably just put a center there because a 34 is not good in any rating ever. Third down linebacker, this guy, he's going to be basically when you're in shotgun a lot of the times, he's going to be the running back that's in shotgun. And I found that you definitely want to make sure you have this change as well, because if you just change them in the halfback selection and who's going to be starting, and you're still going to see your second string if he's the first third down running back. So you want to make sure that you make that switch as well. As I would probably, the only other switch here, which I don't even know why they don't give me the option to use our senior running back, but it is what it is. So that's what I do for third down running backs. The power running back, this is the guy who I believe is probably going to be in the goal line. And with that being said, I would probably put Barnes as the goal line back, because again, he's the guy who can break tackles 79 to 74, trucking 82 to 63, and you don't really get too much space to juke on the goal line. So you just want to be able to run downhill, break a tackle, and fall down forward and in the end zone. So that's who I would go with my power back. And then again, slot receiver, I already talked about this with you guys. Petaway, because he's the fastest. And usually, unless your fastest receiver is your one receiver, you go for your second fastest receiver for your slot receiver, as I did with Petaway. He was the fastest, but he wasn't the best. So he is going to thrive in this position. And I love hitting the slot players because they're closer. And majority of the time, when you're closer, you don't have to throw through too many defenders, and there's less chance of them intercepting the ball. So here you have the rushing right end and the rushing defensive tackle, and I think the rushing left end as well. You just want to have the highest rated guys right here. It's very, very simple. Don't worry about too much on here. It's a little bit different. Defensive tackle, I don't know why he's all the way down there at 79, but we got Stone, swapped him up. Just put your highest rated players right there. Sub linebacker, for here, I would probably put my fast linebacker here to be the sub linebacker. And then slot cornerback, I think that's set up fine with Dolby right there, because the rest of the whole cornerback crew is all good to go. But I mean, that's how I set up my roster. And let me know down in the comments what you do differently or what I might have missed in this video. But that'll do it for this video, guys. If you could please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and be on the lookout for more tips with tees in college football 25. Thanks. See you next time. I'm out. Peace.